Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about the success map, which is a really cool thing. And don't freak out. It's not too terribly new of a concept, but a concept that you can take and translate to use a little bit more effectively. So, what is the success map? Well, many of you know of an org chart, right? Everybody knows what an org chart is. So, if we look at a success map, we can really break this up into three effective uses for this. Number one is, what is the structure of our organization? Number two is, what is our resource planning based upon this structure? What is our resource planning? And from that resource planning, we can figure out tools, technology, headcount, and all of those things, which then drives us into three. How do we hire and accountability with our team? And that's the beauty of the success map. So let's take a look at structure. So we'll look at structure number one. And if we look at structure, you all know this, right? So we have the person at the, and we'll call that the CEO. And that CEO is responsible for more of that forward looking vision. Then we have the person right underneath that CEO. And let's get that right so it looks a little bit better. We have the person right underneath the CEO, and they're going to be more responsible for driving the vision, or excuse me, implementing the vision that was given to us from that CEO. So let's call that role a president, right? So I don't necessarily care about a title, but these are a little bit more synonymous what we're used to. So we have the CEO at the top driving vision. We have the president integrating this all together, taking that CEO's vision, putting it to practice. And then there's really, call it three. If we overly simplify this, we have three portions of the business. We have portion number one, which is going to be sales and marketing. We have number two, which is going to be more operations. And then we have number three. And again, this is overly simplifying it. We have finance. So, of course, we can have HR, we can have IT, we can have engineering, R&D. There's a number of different things that we can have at this level. But to break it down to the most simplistic, let's use these three. Now, the way that we can take this structure, because a lot of people say, hey, how in the world do we structure this properly? Well, let's put this in terms of what each of these business segments are to do. So if we put a vertical line down through here, we can say, all right, everything on this side of the line is driving revenue. Everything over here is driving profit. And then in the middle, what we're looking for here is anything that's going to make us more efficient, right? So in that efficient manner, that's going to take the revenue and allow us to be more profitable. And that comes from efficiency. So whenever you look at this, you can break up the team. So for example, if I have sales and marketing, well, RevOps might live right over here. So maybe this is my revenue operations. So do they report to sales and marketing? Do they report to operations? Really going to be based upon you. Maybe they're dotted line. Who knows? But you get the idea. We can now know where to place those because they're driving revenue or driving efficiency in revenue. So one might say that RevOps falls under operations. So now, how do we take this? That gives us our structure. How do we take this and get an idea of more of that resource planning? Now, under each one of these, so we go under sales and marketing, we might have then, and we might have then marketing. So if we have sales, that's going to be the job function. If we have marketing, that's going to be the job function. And then each one of these should have about 3 to 6 roles that they have. So 3 to 6 roles. So maybe it's driving meetings, overseeing the sales team, whatever those specific roles are. And then each one of those roles should have a number. So if I clearly define that within my resource planning, now I know, okay, to be able to do these 3 to 6 things, it's going to take X amount of time. And I'm going to have these Y restrictions or restraints. So if that's true, then I'm going to need Z resources in terms of headcount and technology. So sorry, I'm writing a little bit fast here. So technology. to be able to pull this off. So this allows me to see, okay, if I have 3 to 6 roles in here with these success numbers, so now I'm going to be held accountable to taking those. I only have so much time, and those time restraints allow me to only do so much. This allows me to know how many of these positions will I need. Now, a critical key piece here is we can only have one name per box. Now, we can have multiple boxes with the same name. So here is Sue, and here is Sue, and this is Bill, and this is Bill, and this is Bill, right? So these ones all have one name, but only one person accountable. What we can't do, and this is a big red arrow, right? We can't do this, is have 2 names in the same box, right? Because if we do that, then what's going to end up happening is we have people pointing fingers and laying the blame game. So it's okay. We're fine if we have one name doing multiple business functions, but what we can't do is have 2 names in the same business function. So that's a big no-no there. So we want to get away from that. So let's get back to this. So whenever we look at this and we know exactly what's going on and we know how many numbers are needed in order to execute, now we can figure out our resource planning to then go into the last piece, which is hiring and accountability. How many people do we need to hire to be able to fulfill this output, right? There's only so much we can do. So how many people are we needing to hire? How many names have nobody in there whatsoever? How many are not meeting expectations? So we need to hire new there. And then also it allows us to know, okay, instead of headcount, what technology and tools can I use? So that's the brilliance of leveraging this success map. I can figure out what is my structure supposed to be? What's the resource planning that I'll need to run that structure? And then lastly, who do I need to hire and how can we hold these people accountable to executing so they're successful? And that is the idea of the success map. Thanks, everyone. Get after it.